use cases of Web3 through DePIN. Hello everyone, Daniel from DePIN Hub here, and today we're interviewing Dirk, the founder of CUDIS, a company at the forefront of wearable technology in their weather tracking with Ring and everything they're doing on the DePIN space. It's going to be a very interesting conversation here. Dirk just landed in Dubai, so I can imagine a little bit of jet lag and like a sleepy face. But it's amazing to pick his brain and what they're building, because I think it's really, really interesting. The updates and the technology that those smart rings are bringing, and especially now with CUDIS and DePIN. So thanks so much for joining the podcast. It's an honor to have you here. Let's start by you introducing yourself, your background, and your role at the company.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me here. As you can see, I'm a UCI graduate. I'm fluent. I'm the co-founder at CUDIS, also working on the marketing side. So yeah, I was originally from the TradFi background, from a hedge fund background, but then I entered the crypto space back in 2018. Joined a crypto VC, started my own crypto gaming project, but now, actually, at the beginning of this year, I joined CUDIS, or I actually co-founded CUDIS with one of my alumni from UCLA as well.
Nice. So quite a interesting shift, right, from TradFi, GameFi. Can you tell a little bit about your project in the GameFi section? What did you learn? How cool was it?
For sure, yeah. Actually, I had the project in the GameFi space. It was a few years ago, because we were trying to work on something called dynamic NFT, because in games there are NFTs, in games there are equipments, and then people are usually getting used to upgrade their equipment, fortify, upgrade their equipments, like for example, like in Mirror 5, I believe. So, but then that fortification, that transmog, or that change is not necessarily reflected on chain, but we were trying to develop something that actually captured that change, so together with the upgrade, and the value of the NFT is upgraded as well. So that's something that we were trying to work on. I think another thing that I learned from my gaming project is that it's more about the marketing side, the marketing channels, getting used to be involved in different groups of communities, doing AMAs to the space, launching quests. Yeah. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, I guess like that help you understand a lot of the community side of things in order to then now with CUDIS in the DePIN project, right? Can you explain a little bit about what this project is and what is the revolutionary part of it and how it works?
For sure, yeah. So you probably see I'm wearing two rings. These are the Genesis rings. So the CUDIS is the first ever AI-empowered wellness ring launched on Scalan. In the core of our ecosystem, there are actually two things. The first thing is the ring. The ring is a wellness ring. It tracks your biometrics, it's tracking your heart rate. It's going to track your HRV, blood oxygen, your sleep, which is very important in trying to determine your recovery score, trying to determine your stress. It also tracks more than 20 exercises, like your heart rate during the exercise, your vitality level, your steps, calorie burn during the exercise, etc. So the ring is a wellness ring. And then we also have CUDIS Wellness app, where it's not only data dashboard, you can look into the further analysis of your wellness data, but also we built an AI coach inside our app. We create a quest platform where basically we're gamifying the wellness behaviors, like sleep, like steps, like interaction with AI coach, etc. People are getting rewarded for doing those things. Yeah, and lastly is that we actually help users to encrypt and store their data on chain, and then so that we can actually bring in third-party developers, research institutions to actually help users monetize their wellness data.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. What inspired you to create this project? What was the catalysis of this whole initiative?
Yeah, so basically, me, Edison, or the co-founders, first of all, we're huge sports addict. We're from Los Angeles, right? But then we're also heavy on hardware or wearables. Like I used to own Garmin, Fitbit. Edison used to own Aura Watch, Band, everything combined, a lot of things. So, but the things we find out about these traditional counterpart is that, first of all, a lot of them, they're pretty expensive. Like, I think in terms of rings, Aura's charging at least upwards of $298 plus monthly subscription. So it makes no sense to us because, like, for one thing, these devices, they're tracking your data and they're actually asking you to pay them every month to use their service. So we're pretty crypto native. We actually know how much those data is worth. So instead of paying the company for using their extras, using their service, we think it should be the other way around. We should bring in data users to actually pay back to the data generators. So that's the whole concept.
Yeah, I think that's very funny, right? If you think like that, because like I used to have a Whoop, for example, for quite some time, and yes, indeed, I'm giving them all my data. They're doing a lot of research on all the information that me plus thousands of other people do, and then I have to pay monthly for that just to know if my sleep is good or not.
And I think, you because your data is on average is worth from $300 to $5,000 annually. So that's some value people don't understand and cannot capture. But now, like with CUDIS, you can actually capture part of those value.
Oh, again, I see. So that's basically where the decentralized infrastructure angle comes in play, right? Like you guys are selling the rings and then tracking a lot of people's data, but then actually you own your own personal data. And how do you CUDIS like then make money from this project?
Well, when we do it in more of app store or a commission based business model. So like we want to be the center hub of this data exchange. We bring developers, we bring in research institutions, we also bring like maybe insurance companies, and then to look into the data, we'll just take commissions from these transactions, and also by the way, we also sell the rings.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember when Fitbit came out. I think one thing that's quite big in the US is companies that give Fitbit to their employees, and then if the person does certain amount of exercise, the company sometimes give gift cards because that would then reduce their health insurance liabilities and costs, right? Are you planning on also collecting data from everyone, anonymizing that information, and building models around that as well?
Yeah, for sure. We're currently like I said, we are building our own AI coach inside the app. But like for the users, if you grant the access of your wellness data into feeding into our AI coaches, and you're going to get personalized guidance on on nutrition, on workout plans, on sleep improvement suggestions, etc. But it's only like if you want that and grant the access data.
And what is the main advantage you see as using blockchain, and why Solana?
Well, first of all, why blockchain? I think blockchain is the only way that we actually can build this decentralized data layer and effectively allow anybody to actually get incentive from their wellness data.
What was the process to selecting Solana as the main blockchain to build on top of?
So Solana, I think there are a couple of reasons. First of all, the co-founders are all like ex-Solana early Solana adopters. For example, Edison, I think, invested in Solana back when it was like single digit. Like that was one cycle before as well. And so for me, it's like I invested in like $20 so one cycle before. So like we're all Solana maxis in some sense, but also like I think Solana is focusing more on the consumer focused products. For example, Blink. Like Solana is really working on trying to bring blockchain technology into everybody's daily life, and I'm trying to lower the threshold of technical entrance, trying to make it a lot easier for everybody to use it. So I think Solana is the only public chain that's doing that. And last thing would be like the volume. There are a lot of DePIN product on Solana. There are a lot of meme coins on Solana that brings a lot of volume.
No, for sure. Solana is definitely a fun blockchain that's quite easy to use and to understand, especially for the average user, right? Because it's just like works very easily comparing to, I think, Ethereum. That MetaMask, for example, is a very complicated wallet for the normal. Like my mom would rather use Phantom than MetaMask. If I have to ask her to do it, right? Yeah, you mentioned like the ring has all this feature like temperature or like blood oxygen and all the other metrics. Let's talk about the two rings. You said you have one ring in each of your hands right now. What are the product timeline? Let's say you guys have the OG version, are releasing the second one. How do you see that going?
Oh yeah, so we actually started the ring sale back in May. Like our stage one. So we've currently just sold out our Genesis ring. So these were the Genesis ring we sold out. Sold out them. We sold over 10,000 rings. So and now we're also trying to develop our next generation of the ring. Try to improve on certain aspect. Trying to test some new features as well. Try new materials, etc. And then but our focus in between the next few months would be actually trying to improve the user experience with our wellness app. So basically we have a ring, we have wellness app, but the wellness app does not have to, like the users of wellness app does not have to have a ring. We're trying to allow people to sync up their wellness data from Apple Health, Google Health, and to use to the app, and then use the AI code, use some of the features inside the app, and try to start having fun with it. So that would be like the move in the next few months. And then once we are ready with the next phase of our product, we'll be start selling the rings again.
No, I see that. I think that makes a lot of sense. So basically, first of all, congratulations on selling the first 10,000 devices. I think that's a pretty nice, achievement. And then I can understand by having the mobile app that you can use, like Apple Fitness, for example, you don't really need to sell another device, that people can start using CUDIS and leveraging the technology and everything that you guys are building, right? What are the main challenges that you had so far into this this journey up to now?
At the very beginning, because our vision is big, we have hardware, we have the data layer, we have the gamification, we have the AI coach, everything combined. When we initially pitched to investors, people don't believe what we're gonna do. But we actually prove that we can do it. We're actually pretty fast on proving that we're able to deliver the rings as well. So we actually we're able to accomplish that. But like the initial fundraising phase is actually pretty hard until we met Tim Draper, actually one of our lead investor. They won. I think Edison is the one who was responsible for fundraising, but he said that he once said that when Tim Draper told him that he's gonna be part of the investor in our seed round with a check of 1 million. Like Edison couldn't believe it, because he was turned down so many times by previous investors, saying that we cannot do it, or we're dealing with hardware in the crypto space. Come on, consumer hardware, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, and then I think after the fundraising process, it's like I said, it's a lot of coordination. I'd say, because we have the hardware, which means we're also working with the customer supports, or working with the supply chain management. Of course, we have the blockchain stuff where so blockchain, the branding, the social medias, the community. We also just launched our NFT. Like for our early adopters, it's a free mint. So we're trying a lot of different things. That's kind of hard to coordinate, but on the other hand, they're super exciting.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think, like, first of all, hats off for that. And first of all, like you said, deploying a Web3 project on DePIN and hardware, it's, I would say, much harder in many levels than a lot of other projects. You have so many new layers of things that you need to fix and figure it out. Manufacturer, supply chain, customer service, returns. Are you going to sell this, in the Walmarts of the world? It's so many more things than if you just have like a SaaS or like a Web3 browser only. But I think those are the projects that really excite me the most, to be honest. Like projects that I can really see real world usage, companies that are really like bold enough to try to make it to the world, make it to the stores, make it to the people's homes. It's not an easy task, but like yeah, it's really cool that you guys are doing that, and yeah, it's definitely not easy as you saw, right? And how easier was the fundraise after Tim Draper joined the round? Did it make everything a bit more streamlined?
I think when we actually started the debut of the product, or we were starting the initial ring sale, we're still raising the fund. But as more people see the rings, it's more like, oh, I think it's easier to convince investors.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Then just like a deck, right? How do you see this project now grow, like evolving throughout the next 5 years, for example? Because you have a lot on your plate, a lot of different areas. What are the things that you can imagine in 5 years from now?
So there are a few phases. The first phase is the growth phase, of course. For the ring growth phase, for the app users. So we're trying to deliver millions of rings to people around the globe. It's not only to crypto users, but also to traditional customers. As we're setting up our Shopify store, Instagram accounts, Instagram store, etc. So we feel like we actually have something that is competitive in all markets. And then that's one of our advantages, that we can approach normies with our product and actually don't need to talk too much about blockchain for them, just having them try to use it, and with incentives, we're trying to convert them on board later on. So that's one of our advantage. So that would be a stage one. Stage one would be growth. Stage two would be actually we're also launching a small medium business for rent, where we're sharing APIs, not the data yet, but we're sharing APIs with the users, with the builders. We're sponsoring Sidetrack in the Radar Hackathon. We're trying to see like what people can build with the data that we're tracking. And then we've got over 20 submissions from our Sidetrack. A lot of them are really interesting. Like but we're also talking with other service providers, mostly wellness related. For example, like I think one of the builders trying to generate emotional score from your sleeping data, from the heart rate and your resting pulse and your sleeping data. Then we look forward to onboard more of those interesting concepts. So that'll be like the next stage. And the third stage would be like once we hit critical mass of the user amount, the data becomes available to institutions, to research companies, and to insurance companies. And that's when we'll bring them on board to buy the data or to build for the users.
And if I want to buy a ring right now, where can I go?
Well, you can't. That's because it's sold out. But you can actually subscribe to our newest updates, and we in our official website, CUDIS.xyz. And then once we launch the next phase, you'll be the first one to be notified. And also, you can also try to download our app. Use the Ruffle function inside our CUDIS app. It's on both iOS and Android store. So and then Ruffle for the ring. So basically, we left. Although the rings are sold out, we left something for the Ruffle winners.
Okay, nice. And where do you think people can learn more about CUDIS? Followup, you said go to the website, the CUDIS.xyz, subscribe to the newsletter. You have Twitter, Discord, etc.
Oh yeah, exactly. But mostly, I think I would say from our Twitter account, which is at CUDIS Wellness. So you'll be able to see like a lot of our updates on that. And also, I think our co-founder Edison, he is launching a Vitality challenge for 30 days. So basically, Vitality is a score that we generated for people during their workouts in our app. And then getting 100 is not that easy. So he's challenging people to get 100 every day. He's going to get it 100 every day. He's trying to get 100 every day himself. And for everybody that matches him, he's going to be ruffling 2 Solana every day.
Yeah, so make sure that everybody who's listening out there to download the CUDIS app and try to get there, because I think there's some prize that awaits for those who move their butts, right? Nice. Awesome. Yeah, and also we just added CUDIS to DePIN Hub, so you can also go to DePIN Hub, subscribe to the newsletter, follow up everything that's happening with the project there. We're gonna keep on I think as soon as the project starts selling new rings, we're gonna announce that also on our own newsletter. So make sure to subscribe. We have over a few hundred thousands of users on the newsletter every day. Thanks so much, Dirk, for joining the podcast. I think it's been very interesting. I'm very excited to follow everything that you guys are building because I think it's a project that is just starting but has a bright future. So many cool things are going to come from that. And yeah, the future is bright with DePIN, man.
Let's go.
Have a great week. Enjoy Dubai. And yeah, stay in the shadow.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Nava.